All right, welcome everybody to cohort number 54's final project presentation, aka Geek Talk. My name is Alyssa Landra. I'm the campus manager for 4Geeks Academy Miami. We're a coding bootcamp. We train on full stack software development, which is the course the grads tonight will be presenting their final projects. They took that course. And then we also have another course, which is data science and machine learning. We offer part-time online programs that have unlimited mentorship and unlimited career support. I'm going to start off tonight with a very brief presentation about 4Geeks, who we are, what we do, what our goals are, introduce our speakers, introduce our roster for tonight, and then I'll be passing it over to our speakers, which I'm very excited for the speakers we have here tonight too. So without further ado, here we go. Geek Talk number 54. Let's get started. So 4Geeks Academy, like I said, we're a coding bootcamp. We're based in Miami. We have 3 locations in the US, however. We have Miami. We now have Boca Raton since we've recently merged with Boca Code. We also have Orlando. We have 10 other locations around the world. So we have locations in Spain and Venezuela and Chile. We have online LATAM and online Europe locations. So we're all around the world. We have, since 2015, we've graduated over 4,500 students. 85% of our grads are landing jobs within 90 days after graduation. We have various partnerships established with major industry players. I love the word partnerships because it ranges across so many things. You can have funding partners, hiring partners, community partners, event partners, so many different types of partners. And we've been rated by some various platforms as one of the top coding bootcamps in the world. An example of that, Best Coding Bootcamp 2022 by Premios Excelencia Educativa. That is a Spain-based organization, and they've named us that Best Coding Bootcamp a few years in a row. So I'm hoping we get that for 2023 again. SwitchUp USA, that's a pretty popular site. We're on the top 30 worldwide bootcamps there. We average 4.9 stars across all platforms in reviews, and we are licensed by the U.S. Department of Education. So we're a real school. Our goal here at 4Geeks is to reduce the unemployment rate and also what we like to call the underemployment rate. So what does it mean to be underemployed? You're underemployed if you're working a job that's not at your full potential. So maybe you're a waiter or a waitress, or you're driving for Uber, but you have the skills and you have the talent to do something more. Maybe you can't access education. Maybe there's certain barriers that are in your way. So at 4Geeks, we want to break down those barriers. We want to allow you to take our program, enter tech with no prior experience, and get you a job doing something better than that. So jobs with higher pay, jobs with better work-life balance, jobs in tech, which is a future-proof field and a really interesting and fun field to work in. Jobs that you like what you do every day. So that's really what our goal is and what we try to do. Our grads see an average of 22% salary increase after completing the program. And that's just on average. I see grads that double or even triple their salary after completing the program. And about 86% of them, like I said before, are landing jobs within 90 days after the cohort. We have 2 main platforms that we use to achieve these numbers, GeekPal and GeekForce. GeekPal, like I said before, unlimited one-on-one sessions. So as a 4Geek student, you have unlimited access to us and to our community for the rest of your life. Unlimited one-on-one sessions, unlimited group sessions, access to our Slack community of over 4,500 developers, just supporting you throughout your career for the rest of your life. So our students get access to this right from the moment they sign up and start the pre-work throughout the entire cohort and forever. So grads, if you didn't know, you can still schedule one-on-one meetings. If you guys decide to launch your own startup, if you guys work on projects after graduation, stay communicating in Slack, come to group mentoring sessions, you guys can access that for the rest of your life. And then similarly, GeekForce, same thing, but career support. So unlimited one-on-one career support sessions. We're going to help you with your resume, your LinkedIn, mock interviews, your GitHub, follow-up strategies, messaging on LinkedIn strategies, networking strategies, connect you with our network of hiring partners. We give you all the tools you need to be ready to go land a job in tech. So this is something that all 4Geek students get access to. Here's some of our success stories that you can see here on the right-hand side. So you have grads that are working at huge name companies like Microsoft, And then you have grads working at, mid to smaller size companies too. But especially in the Miami tech scene, you can't really compare a big company against a small startup company. Both have pros and cons. And working for small to mid-sized companies is really fun and really cool. Grads are doing that here in Miami. This just plays on what I just said, so you can see examples of companies that our grads are working at. So you got bigger name companies towards the top, and then you got some mid to smaller size companies as you go down towards the bottom. Different partners that we work with: educational partners, funding partners, community partners, just different organizations that help make what we do possible. Our speakers for tonight, we have 3 speakers here. We have Tamante. He is a content developer at Microsoft. He's also the founder of ByteCon, which is one of our partner organizations that we do different events with, and he also founded Onyx. We have Kwamara here. She is awesome. She builds community. She invests. She creates platforms. She creates access to education. She teaches. She inspires. She hires. She's a really cool, inspirational person, and she's going to share some of her insight with you guys today. And then Amade, the man of the hour. He's a software engineer at Microsoft and the one that you guys probably want to ask all of your questions to. So he's here tonight too. And we have 2 projects presenting tonight, but 2 very amazing, inspiring projects. We have the Worst Convention EverCon with Jay, Nancy, and Teresa. And we have Helping Hands Morocco with Jess, Ailey, Vasanthi, and Jerry. So thank you for your time and attention. I'm going to pass the mic over. I think Amade will probably start, or Tamante if you want to, but you guys have the floor.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll be relatively brief, but first of all, want to congratulate everybody for your graduation from 4Geeks bootcamp. That's something that you all should be very proud of. Give yourselves a round of applause, pat on the back. Definitely a great accomplishment. And, with that, you all are positioned, to really change the trajectory of your careers and kind of what you want to do. I've been working at Microsoft for a little over 4 years. And I work with I work in our experiences and devices org. I work with a bunch of coders and developers, even though I don't have a technical background myself. And I actually started in our retail org. I started working in Aventura Mall in our store when it was open. All of our stores are now closed. But I found myself someone who, non-technical background. I have my law degree. I graduated from law school here in South Florida from St. Thomas University School of Law in Miami Gardens, Florida, with a JD MBA. And here I am working at the largest software company in the world. So how did I get, kind of in the role that I'm in with a non-technical background? Long story short, I'm also an adjunct professor, and I'm a founder. I'm an ed tech founder. There was a role that opened up about 4 years ago at Microsoft where they wanted someone to focus on our education customers, specifically in the K through 12 space and also in the higher education space. Me being someone who has not only taught at multiple institutions, I currently teach at Miami-Dade College in the School of Business at the Hialeah campus. I've been there since 2014. So when it came to the role, I was someone who had a lot of experience in all levels of education, was an adjunct professor at the time, or am an adjunct professor. At the time, I had an app actually that Imadi was my CTO on, where it connected teachers and students, and basically it was kind of like a WhatsApp for teachers and students. So I was able to land the role because of my transferable skills, so to speak. And it wasn't a role that required me to be too technical. But I also knew that I was not going to stay in retail forever. I knew that it was my entryway, and sometimes you have to kind of take a step down to go up, right? And I tell everybody that. And so it was always my plan to do what I'm doing now, right? Which is get integrated Microsoft into a corporate role, which about a year and a half in, year and some change in, I started looking at roles in greater Microsoft, and I ended up becoming an instructional designer and a content program manager for a couple of years. And since March of this month, I'm a content developer too on our Microsoft 365 admin team. What does that mean? Essentially, I create content for our admin customers, but now I'm actually working on end user content as well, which is for folks like yourselves, right? Customers that use our products. That content lies on two sites mainly, which is our support.microsoft.com site and our learn.microsoft.com site. But that content also includes video content because we do have a YouTube channel for our M365 product suite. We started that YouTube a little over a year ago, like last July, and we've got a video library on there of about 80 videos. So now I'm getting a chance to work on, video content, and clearly I work on web-facing documentation. Super cool. I do, I have to use GitHub as a publishing tool to do my work. So can't do anything that I do without GitHub. And I know y'all are very familiar with GitHub. Probably using it a little different way than I do. But that to say, right now, my best piece of advice, get yourselves ready for, interviews. You want to be interview ready. A lot of people kind of get caught up on that part, right? They complete the boot camp, but then they go into the interviews, and I'm gonna let Imadi talk more about that because I'm sure y'all have some questions. Him being a software engineer and my co-founder working at Microsoft, he'll be able to give you some valuable insights. But come strong for your interviews. Be prepared. Do whatever you can do to stand out. You're gonna have multiple rounds if you're interested in working at Microsoft, regardless. Even though I'm not a software engineer and I didn't have the technical aspects, like my interview is different. What will be the same is you're going to have a round robin, multiple rounds, usually 4 to 5 interviews, no matter what role at Microsoft. You will be expected to have some type of portfolio, which I had to have. Regardless, I had to show my ability to develop, to build a course, right? To develop a course from scratch. To the adult learning methodologies, right, that I have as a professor. All of those things I had to showcase on display. How do I approach assessing my students? How do I, different types of way to deliver, my, content. There was a whole bunch of different things that I needed to show, right, that I was proficient in my portfolio. So that's, you can expect. And with that, if anyone has any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. And if not, I will pass the mic to Imade.
Yeah.
Well, any questions first? Nobody? All right. Well, congratulations again, everybody. Imade, I'll let you take it.
I appreciate it, bro. No, I always like hearing your story, honestly. I feel like I learn a little bit every time. So my story is a little bit more, similar to what everybody else is going through right now. I went through the boot camp process. I actually did mine at Flatiron back in 2020, right before the pandemic, changed and made things a lot difficult for everybody. So I can definitely understand going through the growing pains of trying to figure things out in the world that's really not geared towards, this type of non-traditional space of learning this way and getting through. But the great thing about this is because we learn in this space, a lot of information coming very quickly, we're really geared towards getting to the job, kind of hitting the ground running. So I feel like with that, if there's any questions, if there's anything you want to learn or anything you want to reach out and ask me, my LinkedIn, my information is always available for you guys. The only thing I really want to add, just I don't want to take too much time, is that you can kind of think of like the interviewing process for me specifically was just kind of like twofold. It was a lot of front end facing where it comes to like getting the resume piece ready together, getting yourself, acclimated, behavior skills, kind of, being the sweet talking in a sense. But always when you have that back end mindset, you have to be ready for these type of interview questions. Like Tamonte said, there's going to be about 4 rounds no matter what you do. But in each round, you're going to meet a different engineer. You're going to have a different technical question, and you're going to have to showcase your knowledge in every single space. So just be very, very ready. Practice a lot. There's a lot of free resources, which is key here. Pramp, Interview.io, LeetCode, Meetup.com for me to kind of code with people that are in that same space, and all those things, because it is a grind. Looking for a job is a job in itself, but it is very, very rewarding at the very end, and you never know where you might up, because the job I ended up in is actually better than the one I thought I was going to get, and that's just how life goes sometimes. So please, good luck and congratulations again, guys. Really is impressive what you're doing.
You guys want to ask any questions? You can drop them in the chat.
Yeah, and I'll leave a list of resources, everything that helped me along my way, so in the chat. So please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, I would highly recommend y'all take advantage of asking Imadi some questions. Probably likely, I mean, I can't tell y'all what to ask, but you know, for someone that's been at Microsoft for several years, take this opportunity to ask him any questions when it comes to, you know, languages that you know want to know, need to know, have to know, don't need to know, etc.
Definitely.
And other things that y'all might need to ask.
Yeah, it's a community though, and everybody's learning from each other, so there's no gatekeeping over here. Yeah, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, I know breaking into tech is really, really difficult. I guess that first job is what they say is the hardest thing to do. Exactly. What do you have as advice for standing out from the pack to try to get that first job?
From standing out from the pack, I think I try to do the whole standing out thing and being so different in each interview, but you really just end up where you're supposed to end up. So I guess in my experience, I felt upward in a way, or I try to do everything I could to get to this next job. Or, you know, I get I think I did for JP Morgan one time, learn LeetCode, practice, got a little bit closer each time, ended up not prevailing. Something else for Datadog, something else for Microsoft Leap, like different resources. I think there's no real way to like stand out. You just got to be as prepared as possible and to connect with the right person. So when I connected with somebody that was like one of the 4 engineers I networked with, it was as simple as like he had a hat on from a video game that I played when I was a kid. It was Gears of War. And it's like little things like that to kind of like let yourself be yourself in those interviews, as well as answering the question at the very end. So I kind of take it back to like the full stack of interviewing. You're very good. You're connecting. You're being personable, but you also have the skills you need to answer the question at the very end. And that just comes from practice and being yourself. So, you know, just if you're prepared, the right opportunity will come for you. And there's no such thing as too many no's. Like, I'm actually grateful for every no I receive, honestly.
Thank you.
No worries. All right.
Well, Amade, if you want to drop your LinkedIn or any kind of contact information in the chat.
Yes.
I'll put mine in as well, in case anybody wants to connect. There's a question. He says, Newton asked, I'm a UG computer science student, really interested in data science. What set of advice do you have for me? Well, I have to. I'm not a data scientist, but I'm doing some data science work currently because I wanted to learn a little bit more about that skill set. For me, I mean, you have to be able to really kind of like analyze the information well. Like you have to be, you know, able to analyze and kind of see, you know, when I'm looking at like customer feedback, I'm looking at like net promoter score, and I'm looking at even, you know, we have something where I look at the customer journey where I can see everything they did. I can't see who they are, but I can see everything they did, like before they submitted a support ticket, for example. So like being able to look at different data sets and kind of, you know, being able to see the story that's being, you know, that you can get from that. And of course, with my work, I'm looking at, okay, what what were they trying to do? What was their pain point? Sometimes in their feedback, they tell us like, this is confusing. And for me, you know, for us, for my team, it all goes to how we can improve the content around whatever area it is, right? To make it easier we focus on a lot of self-help support where, you know, we make it easier for the customers to figure out stuff on their own. So that's not that's just some general advice from me doing some industry work in that area. I'm not a data scientist, but Madi, if you have anything that you want to add to that, I don't know.
From the teams I've been on, I feel like data science is still kind of like relatively new with some of the technology and the information they're bringing on. The one guy that we had who was a data science guru, he had his PhD, he had the mindset of kind of bringing us into this new world of where we're using data to kind of predict and attract all kinds of different information. So it always feels like, even though it's not my space, it's something that can help every one of us in a different way. So as long as you're passionate about it, you know why you're in it, and you want to feel yourself going into any opportunity, not just any one opportunity, you know, the doors are always open. And there's a lot of places you can go with that, and everybody needs a way to improve themselves, especially in this new AI world. So go for it. Definitely.
You got a couple more questions. What's the primary stack that you work with at your role at Microsoft? And are the technical questions more heavy in a particular subject?
Tech, I'm more on the front end side, so React, TypeScript, JavaScript mainly. A little bit of Java for some API calls, and I did some Python. And Python, I didn't realize was going to help me out because that was a lot for just interview prep and testing. That was a little bit of an easier language to kind of do those interviews with than JavaScript for me. And there's a little bit of work you can do with that with like testing and stuff in the back end as well. So it depends on really where you're more comfortable and go from there. And what was the last part I recommend to?
Are the technical questions more heavy in a particular subject? And then we got another question after that.
So if you've done any like and I definitely recommend if you haven't done lead code now to really start ramping up in it though, because you have questions from all types of data structures and algos, and you also have to learn the big O notation behind that. So how fast and how well these solutions are going. So I think a lot of the ones, if you can find like tricks to do like work like high level, like min heaps and things of that, like graphs and things of that nature, you should really at least verse yourself in that technology and then try to get as comfortable as you can, because they won't all be like that, but you might get like a sorting algorithm question and trying to have to put that together. But it's weird because you learn all these things to get the interview prep, and then once you learn it, you kind of like thrown in a different space in the actual field when you're actually doing the work, which is not really tied to but it's really just, they just want to see if you can solve things that are not easy to solve in a short amount of time. And that's really what I'd say for me.
Okay. Next question is, what do we use or recommend to stay updated on tech trends? Twitter, they hear that Twitter for a lot of people, but is there, other resources or other social media?
The good thing about being around software engineering bootcamp, everybody's kind of a nerd. And if you don't know a nerd, you know a nerd that knows a nerd. So I had some good nerdy folks in my class that keep me up to date. I think one of the big ones he shared with me was Hacker News, which is a good way to keep up to date. There's this daily news email that I get. I forget what its name. I'll look for it up real quick. Just staying up to date on the websites for these companies are always a big thing. And there was one more, but yeah, Hacker News you can't go wrong with. That has everything up to date. It's a little old school with the feel, but you'll have everything up to date there.
I think probably also on our learn site.
Yeah,
free learning content. We've got now over 4,000 free learning modules and learn paths, and are probably very helpful as well. That you can search different according to I believe language, but definitely like you can take different trainings and different asynchronous, self-paced to also help you as well. And that's the same trainings that we take at Microsoft. So it's the same thing like Imadi would have to do if his manager's like, hey, it's a new whatever going on. You need to learn how to do this. It's like that, the same modules that he would be learning from.
Oh, I found it. It's a TLDR daily. So yeah, look for
those modules can be found on excuse me, learn.microsoft.com. And when you go to that site, there's a tab that says learn by doing. If you click on that, that's where you'll be able to access those modules and learning paths.
Yes. Oh, you read that. Exactly. See, we have some more time. So you guys use tech trends out here, Twitter for a lot of people. Yeah, Twitter is always good. I mean, I guess lately it hasn't been as good, but yeah, we'll stay up to date there. Does anybody feel prepared for an interview right now? For a coding interview? Anybody? I swear it's not as bad as it sounds, but if you do feel a little versed, I definitely recommend just kind of like getting the ground running as soon as possible. Take a little bit of a breather. I took like a couple weeks, a month off, but the sooner you jump into it, the better. And there's a bunch of free resources that I dropped in there to get you comfortable in that space.
Thank you. Do you know, Amade, if Komara is joining?
She said she'd be on shortly. Hopefully she didn't get tied up with something.
Yeah, I think she's hosting Founders Live tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's a huge pitch competition, guys. So she was hosting that, and she was trying to take a break from that to come over here and speak and then hop back over there, but it's possible that she got caught up.
She's incredible. So I'll ping her again, though, but if not, then we'll try to carry the flag for her.
Okay, we can start the projects, and if she hops in at the end, we can, of course, offer her the chance to speak. All right, so worst convention ever con, if you guys want to go first. You guys
hold on, before we go on, I'm sorry to bother. Is it okay if we can get the Titans with helping hands to present first, please?
Sure, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello all, let me get my screen pulled up here and we'll start our presentation. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the launch of our website today. I'm Jess Morrison, and we are Helping Hands Morocco. Here at Helping Hands Morocco, we are focused on empowering change, one donation at a time. In a world where every act of generosity has the potential to transform lives and communities, we are proud to present Helping Hands, an innovative platform designed to make giving back easier, more accessible, and incredibly impactful. Helping Hands Morocco's goal is to help Morocco recover from an earthquake. We bring people together to provide support and resources for those affected. We are bringing a secure and user-friendly solution to the forefront. Through a dynamic user dashboard, a transparent, efficient, and secure donation process, we are committed to helping bring charitable donations to life. The team here at Helping Hands is comprised of 4 full-stack developers, all of whom you will hear from today. The first of our team that you will hear from is Ailey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ailey Gufa. I am a wife, server, and now I'm a full-stack developer. And before I present the tasks that were assigned to me, I wanted to share the inspiring story behind our donation website. So our mentor, Rick, encouraged us to create a platform that would make a positive impact on the environment. And then a fateful event unfolded when Morocco experienced a devastating earthquake. This news hit us hard, and we knew we had to act, and we need to do something meaningful. It was at the moment that we decided to turn our website into a force for good. The funds we receive are intended to help the people affected by the earthquakes in Morocco, and we plan to utilize these funds by purchasing essential items like food and medical supplies and contributing to the rebuilding of their homes. But here's the most crucial part. We are not doing this alone. We are committed to working closely with possible local partners in Morocco, which may include local non-governmental organizations, community leaders, and relief agencies. This collaboration ensures that the donation we receive reach the intended beneficiaries effectively and efficiently. And now I will present to you the tasks that were assigned to me. Homepage, donation dashboard, filter donation, print feature, and about us page. So homepage, you will see a navigation bar features our logo and essential navigation links for seamless access to key sections for a website. Also, a donate now button for quick and easy access to support our cause. There's also a progress bar and a countdown timer, providing visitors with real-time updates on our fundraising goal and the remaining time to make a meaningful contribution. Also, I added video and images in our homepage, provide a compelling visual narrative, creating awareness about the urgent needs in Morocco and inspiring visitors to take actions. Vasanthi and Jess also added a feedback and rating section from generous donors from all around the world. And of course, a user-friendly footer. And welcome to your personal donation history dashboard, where it provides a detailed overview of your donation covering dates, payment methods, and currencies. We've made it easy also to filter and review your donations by year. And also, if they need to print or have a hard copy of the donation history, they can print it easily. And finally is the About Us page, where we share our heart and soul of our mission, vision, history, and the list of our dedicated founders and volunteers. And also, when you hover over a volunteer's photo, their social media accounts will appear, allowing donors and users to connect with our dedicated volunteers for a more personal and interactive experience. And Vasanthi will now present her task.
Hello everyone, I am Vasanthi Dande, a full stack developer at 4Geeks. So I'm excited to share the features I have designed and developed. So the first one, user authentication process, and we have created seamless and secure user authentication process, and including login, forgot password, and the reset password. And we include functionalities, and we include technologies such as Python, Flask, Flask Mail, Flask JW token, and SQL Alchemy, and to ensure user data protection. And coming to the security, and we prioritize security to save user data, utilizing the Flask Mail for email communications, and we integrated Firebase for the Google login, and all backend by Flask and JWT tokens. And coming to the chartboard, and we integrated powerful tool, the React, which is React Simple Chartboard, and it is interactive and accessible chartboard solution for user support and shared information about the website and directions like that. And also we included feedbacks from the users, and our user feedback is prominently displayed on our homepage and offering valuable insight from our supporters, including X+ volunteers and X+ happy donors. So finally, in conclusion, these features I have crafted with user security and convenience and support in mind, utilizing a robust technology stack, including Python across the various components. So these are the key aspects of our future set. That's all on my side. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wood Jerry St. Germain, and I am a full stack developer here at 4Geeks. And I was tasked with the donate page and also the billing page, utilizing Stripe Pay integration in order to processes payment. So here at the donate page, both registered users and guests has the flexibility to donate either through the presetted amount options or by specifying a custom amount and the designated section. Donors have the choice to contribute as a one-time gesture or set up a recurring monthly donations. So for processing transactions, we offer Stripe and PayPal as a trusted payment gateways. Once selected the desired amount, donors are redirected to this page, which is the billing page, to provide information for payment processes. Should in any given event the donor wishes to reconsider the payment, they have the option to cancel the transaction. And this is pretty much what my tasks were. My task was included in. So thank you.
And hello again. As I stated earlier, my name is Jess Morrison. I'm a full stack developer here at 4Geeks Academy. On this project, I was able to work on the user dashboard page, which includes a edit user function. I also built the contact page, the thank you page, and the testimonials that you saw previously on the homepage. So on the user dashboard will display a user's information once they are logged in. And this page also has the edit contact info button, which allows the user to update any incorrect or outdated information. And the contact page, I have a form on here that allows users to submit any questions they may have upon submission. This form does get sent via email securely to our support team, who are able to handle responding to the user with any questions that they might have. And our thank you page, which gets displayed after the user completes a donation. They get redirected after filling out the billing information to this thank you page, which offers them a thank you for their contribution. And it also will give an updated progress bar and the updated raised funds amounts. And so from here, I will take you to our website. We have it deployed using the Vercel app. And so I can take you through and show you the functionality of the working website here. And this would be our homepage here. We have our nav bar up at the top with everything working here. We have the functionality working here. We also have the YouTube video that is connected through here. We're able to open up and get additional information about the devastation from the earthquakes in Morocco. And it will load a video player here for you. As we move down, this is the rating section, the feedback. We have the testimonials here from past donors. And we also have the chat bot, which is a functioning AI chatbot. We can type some simple messages and it does respond back. And so it can assist users to be able to navigate through the website on where to go and how to make donations and different requests. 24/7 availability for this chatbot. And so we can go through here, and I'll show you here our contact page where users can submit questions. If they want to volunteer, they can submit requests for a volunteer schedule here. We have the About Us page, our mission, our vision, our history, as well as our volunteers with the interactive links to all of our different social media accounts. And so what we'll do first is I'll take you through and show you the donate process. As a anonymous user without logging in, you're able to log in, or without logging in, you're able to donate. And so upon completing a donation, you get redirected to the thank you page, where as we are not logged in, it's showing as an anonymous donor at the moment, but it'll give an updated total here with the updated progress bar. And now what we're able to do is go back to home, and I can show you the functionality of logging in on the website and getting signed up on the website. And so with signing up, there's two ways we can get signed up. I'll go through the first one here, which is just a simple way of putting in your information and getting all signed up that way. Upon clicking sign up and getting added in, it redirects you to the login page where you log in and get redirected to your dashboard. And what I'll do next is show you a function that our team member added, which was to allow sign up with the Google function. So with one click of a button, users are able to sign up using their Google information. And then with one click of a button, also log in as well using that Google access. From here, we can use the edit contact to really make the page personalized. And then from here, we can go to see donation history, and we can see as this user has not donated yet, there is no donation history as of yet. So we can go back to the home page, make one more quick donation. And here you can see it is linked through. It's not as an anonymous donor anymore. It's linked to your account. The updated total has increased. The progress bar has increased. And we can go back to our profile and see our donation history, where you can see it has been added in. And we can show the print function. This is important for people as they may want to use this information for their tax purposes. And so if they need to print a hard copy, they can use this to print out a hard copy and be able to see the actual donation. And I believe from start to finish, that was our entire website. So I'll take you back now to our PowerPoint presentation. And where you can find us, we do have our links here for our GitHub account that has all of our code. We have the link for the Vercel app that is launched and for the backend for the Heroku. And here we have the technologies that we used for this application. We have the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap used, JavaScript, Python, React, React Simple Chatbot, React Player, Flask, Flask Mail, Flask JWT Token, SQL Alchemy, PostgreSQL, Firebase for the Google sign up and login, and the Stripe payment integration. And lastly, we have our thank yous. We want to give a thank you to the entire 4Geeks Academy with a special shout out to our cohort mentor, Rick Rodriguez. We also want to give a thank you to the entire Helping Hands teammates here that helped come together and create this website. And we also want to give a thank you to our families and friends for all of their support along the way. Thank you all.
Very nice job, guys. Congratulations. Does anybody have any questions or comments for this group?
I have a quick question. How long did it take you guys to work on it? planning and completion?
I believe the final 4 weeks of the class we were using to make the website. So it was about 4 weeks long that we had. We all came together, the four of us, to put in the work to get it all done in those 4 weeks.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
I want to give you my congratulations. You did an amazing job. And a very important part of this is that you dedicated a lot of time. I was able to see like every single day you were communicating each other using your Slack chat. You were having a lot of meetings. You worked really hard on this. So we can see that in your funny project. You even deploy that at Versa. It's great. So you can show to people that if you really commit to this, you get to do a really amazing project by the end of this course. So again, congratulations. You have become great developers.
As the old saying says, hard work pays off. So you guys are going to have a great project to add to your resume. Congratulations. Any other questions or comments?
You guys killed it. Awesome job.
Thank you, everybody.
Really good job.
All right, then we'll move into our second and final project of the night, which is the worst convention ever con. Let me tell you, when you guys told me that this was the name, I thought it was a real convention that existed and you were making like a website to promote the convention. That when I found out you guys made up this name, I was like, that is so clever. So I'm excited. Go ahead.
All right, thanks for being here. We are MVT, that stands for Minimally Viable Team. A little bit of a tongue-in-cheek here with our whole presentation project. We're presenting a comic convention made for geeks and by geeks. So welcome, gather around and feast your eyes on the greatest convention of all time that the Simpsons comic book guy knows as the worst convention ever con. What is the goal? What are we trying to accomplish? And what indeed? We're trying to do a lot of things, but in particular, we're trying to create a one-stop shop with the goal of seamlessly providing all of the information to our guests to make getting here and experiencing the convention super easy. We're going to offer lots of lists of vendors, creators, schedules, exhibits, food offerings, email lists, community links, and so on. We want to provide account options to the user so you can drive your own experience at and before the convention with ease of access. You can plan your visit, get tickets, sign up for exhibits, and save your favorites. We want to be vendor forward, so we want to make it easier for vendors and artists to show their work. You don't have a name, nobody knows who you are. That's not a problem with us. We want you to be involved, whether it's a booth, an exhibit, just having a cardboard cutout with your artwork and passing stuff out with flyers. We're here to elevate the experience, and we definitely want scalability. We want to make it easy for the user too. How are you going to get here? All these questions, where am I going to stay when I get here? We want to offer all the answers to these questions with driving directions, with nearby hotels, with our own personal catered reviews, easy nicknames, accessibility to make it easier. And that way, in your case, one simply can walk to Mordor. We want to show off the goods front and center. We want to have our featured artists with cool blurbs, artist showcase, and external links. And then we want to keep that momentum going. So the community didn't start with us, and it definitely is not going to end with us, but we want to engage the community and serve as a long-term scalable resource. After the convention, we want to offer recaps, highlights, memories, and photos. And we want to keep everybody's eyes on the horizon so we can highlight important current and future events, both with the convention and in the community.
All right, so our main goal here, the why we wanted to build this in the first place, is to create an inclusive space for the nerd community where all the enthusiasts can come together, whether they're a newcomer or a veteran that have spent their entire lives dedicated to just, absorbing all of this information and these comics and these just great characters. We just want to be able to celebrate what we love with people we love and have a nice, safe space for everyone to come together.
So really what we're trying to do is provide something for everyone. Our vision for this site was to have the potential to be a resource for all in the nerd community. Really what we're doing is we're looking to connect those who love comics, those who love sci-fi, fantasy in all forms, cosplayers, gamers, whether that be board games, video games, TCG, TTRPGs. We have a little bit of something for everyone. We want to be able to provide art for art lovers, food for foodies, and even workshops for aspiring creators. So they have the opportunity to get inspired and provide resources for those that want to become the next big thing in their field or whatever they're passionate about. Really, a little bit of something for just about any type of nerd that you could find. And even create a retail space for people looking to buy unique collectibles or merchandise.
And to build our full stack application, we used lots of JavaScript, Python, React was the main portion that we built our components with. We built our server using Python and Flask, implemented email.js, also Flask Mail. And a lot of other helpful tools that we found was using the Trello board so we could keep track of what our goals were, where we were on the process, if we had any adjustments to be made, Postman for testing, Discord and Slack for communication. We did our meetings through Discord every Tuesday and Thursday, and that was a great use. And then, of course, can't forget lots of caffeinated beverages.
So hi, everybody. My name is Teresa. I am a fellow nerd and full stack developer. So I was responsible for a lot of the informational content pages of the site. So what the schedule of the con was, who the vendors were, and the FAQ for the entire convention. So I built a lot of these pages using common features in order to give the site a sort of unified feel. So we started with Jumbotrons for the site. The thing about Jumbotrons, however, is most recent Bootstrap doesn't have them. So I ended up building one from scratch with CSS, some accordion drop-downs that were then eventually restyled and actually rebuilt to match Jay's beautiful styling that we'll see in a couple minutes. And the data.json file from which we drove all of our data. Some of the unique features for these pages, the schedule page has a favorite events functionality. So you can save your favorite events for later. And these buttons only appear when you are logged in. Vendors utilizes the Comic Vine API. So displaying comic book vendors and linking to their pages so that consumers can view their offerings. And some of the challenges that I ended up running into were troubles with the API. So it had very little to no documentation, but luckily the internet is a great place for nerds. And we found people just as passionate about comic books as we were that wrote helpful posts to help us debug and solve a lot of our issues. One of the small things I ended up doing was our little nav bar now toggles a login and log out depending on whether you are or not.
So who in the World Wide Web is Jay? That's me. I'm also a full stack software developer, and these were some of the areas of my focus. Number one was data.json integration, which was a heavy inspiration from Teresa. We had lots of data in lots of places, all these files just jam-packed with it, and it didn't look very pretty. So she had this idea of data.json being a compendium for all of our information that we moved a lot of our self-built arrays and self-built kind of API type data into, and consolidated all that lovely stuff into one spot. So what I came up with, I had an aha moment to move that into Flux to get an integration there. That way every single page had really simple access for it. So it stayed nice and partitioned and clean. We have our own little built-in mini Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is a nice reusable styling guide, but it isn't one size fits all. It isn't form-fitting, and it doesn't quite match what everybody wants. So we built our own mini Bootstrap that kind of fit our reusable scalability and styling. We made our own. Next up is an actual page from me. This is our About Us, who we are, why we're here, what's next. It has some fun commentary, a couple Easter eggs in there, and then there's a really nice, wonderful contact us email form on the bottom that Nancy drove through a couple iterations, and hers was the final. The following page for me was the people to see. I think this was my most in-depth page, and I had a really great time on this one. It showed featured artists, had a reusable artist card with a headshot and a mini bio. And when you click it, a small pop-up modal shows up, shows a lot more in-depth of a bio for the artist, a highlight reel of their art type. So some of them weren't illustrators, like Anthony Birch is a podcaster. So we had an embeddable podcast on there, so you could click it and listen to his podcast. RK Post is an artist, and Fiona Staples has comic books. So the links and everything in their highlight reel takes you to an external link where you can learn more about it. And in the modals, there's links to their personal website and their wikis. The next page I worked on was hotels. And at this point, we reached a snowball effect in styling where we had enough reusable styling that we can kind of tailor what we had into the future, which was really nice. We weren't building everything from the ground up at this point. This one is mapped data with custom reviews, external booking links to the hotels. And then we had some personalized experience on there. So there's a little summarized nickname on the top of the cards that kind of says, best budget or rate across the street, that helps users determine at a glance at what hotel they might be interested in by the convention. And then a little bit of a description that kind of shows what those hotels offer. And then the last thing is the footer, which is on every single page, and it can get really cluttered and kind of wonky, but we made something that's fun and simple and useful. One of the things I had fun on with this one was integrating a Simpsons API that has a little quote that gets pulled from a Simpsons character. Whenever you click on it, it regenerates a new quote and then pulls a picture of the Simpsons character that said it in a little comic book style format. We also had a nice logo on the bottom, links to our personal GitHubs, and then just a really simple navigation that takes you back to the top of the page.
So I am Nancy. I am now a full stack developer after attending this excellent class through 4Geeks, which I had a great time with, by the way. I was responsible for working on the main preliminary layout for the homepage, did the logo designs and the countdown timer to count down to when the event would actually kick off, which was like a fun little way to add some more functionality and something to get the users excited. Did the preliminary nav and footer, and then we all together pulled our resources and improved upon both of those. But I did the registration, so creating an account, the database for that, the login, logout, token handling, and authentication to make sure it's secure, and then the account dashboard, which those favorites from like the events that Teresa did, you can add those in to reserve a spot and go back and check it out on your user profile. Sorry, bear with me here just 1 second. All right, so here we go. And this is the web application that we built all together, and I'm very proud of how this turned out. So we have our wonderful logo up here that came from the overall design that I made with this, and then with the help of Jay, we cleaned this up a little bit. It originally had more in the background, but we wanted it to be a little more streamlined and not take away from the overall look of the site. So here we want users to just be able to come here, find out like when is the event, what's the, what's going on, get information. So who's going to be here, some of our featured artists here. Oh, God. Let me relaunch.
Here's the fun thing about code spaces. Sometimes the back end goes down.
Yeah, I've been keeping it active, but I couldn't while the PowerPoint was going. But we tried to deploy ours, and we had some issues. So, fun stuff. Apologies, everyone. I'm trying to get it back up.
I hope after the presentation, I hope everybody gets a chance to kind of click through the website once we get it launched. There's a lot of really fun verbiage, a lot of fun commentary on there, some Easter eggs. Both Teresa and I had a great time kind of making some custom tailored descriptors and things for the scene that matches in with the comic book nerds to get some giggles and laughs in there. One of the things that we'll glance at, I think it's going to be the FAQ, right? And Teresa had put a lot of work in there to make it not just your basic FAQ questions, so that when you see it, there's a lot of different cultural references for the geek community. That's really super fun.
Okay. Again, my apologies, everyone. Thank you for your patience. So let's just take a little scroll down and see the rest of our homepage here. So one of the things that Jay did a great job on was these blurbs that he wrote for our page. Calling all nerds. We are the one convention to rule them all, and we definitely put all our blood, sweat, tears, and love into this, and had a great time with it. And we can come down here and see the footer with the links as indicated before, and the Simpsons quotes that will update and give you a different character that will correspond to the quote. So it will update with each one and who said it. So that's a pretty cool little feature that we added in on there. And then, so back to the featured guest and artist. So we've got RK Post. A user can click here to learn more. They can scroll through and see different magic cards. They can go to relevant links, very convenient for them to access whatever kind of information they're looking for from this particular guest. And we did the same with everyone else here. So nice functionality on here, everybody's relevant information. We wanted to make that easy for our users to be able to just come here, one-stop shop, find all this, and you can listen to the podcast from Anthony Birch directly on our site. We've got our schedule listed here, and since we're not logged in currently, you cannot add any favorites on here, but you can just view the information. We've got nice expandable accordion style menus. Our hotels page. So that way our users can find lodging, and depending on what is the right fit for them, if they want the crusty experience, full on Springfield, they can go right here and we can take them directly to it so they don't have to go and do a separate search. We want it to be, again, easy for everyone involved. Resources. We've got our new comic releases available for people to browse, because there will be multiple vendors that have these for sale. So that way, if they want to, see what's up and coming, they have another thing to get excited about and, add to their little wish list. And then we did our page to make an account. And this would be beneficial for them as far as being able to add their favorites. And in the future, we want to make this to where they can do ticket upgrades and things of that nature. All right, so let's get our account made. All right, now we can go, it'll take you into the login page once the account is made. Oh, I think I typed that in wrong. right now, this would be the dashboard without any favorites that have been saved. Pretty plain at the moment, but if we come back here to the schedule, we now have the favorites functionality. So if I'm a user and I want to see like which events appeal to me the most, I definitely want to be there for the opening ceremony kickoff. Let's see, Artist Alley for sure. Got to do that. And I love dressing up. Halloween's coming up. Let's do a cosplay contest, right? So I want to save these. And so now if I go back to the account dashboard, these are mapped out for them. So they can, come back and they can see the things they bookmarked. They can reserve a spot, and then they'd be able to, if they change their mind, remove these features from that. And then we've got our About and Contact Us page. Again, nice accordion style. We wanted to keep everything cohesive, so we did a similar layout here. And again, excellent creative writing from Jay. He gave us all our own like little descriptions here, which I think is just very, very creative and hilarious. Teresa only rolls D20s, guys, just in case you didn't know that. All natties. And then we've got our contact us through this email form. So if anybody has any questions, needs to reach out, they're able to do that. And we can just go ahead and show that there is good functionality on this. We'll go ahead and send it through. And let's see, I've got, it should come through here in just a second. We'll check back on that. In the meantime, we'll look at this a little more. So we've got some more information like what's coming up next for the con. And we've got some other things we definitely want to work on in the future. We're going to add some more guests and, what to do at the con. We're going to have transportation and other features added on. And then right here, there's our automated message letting them know that we have gotten their question or their feedback, and we will be getting back to them very soon. Make sure you use the Schwartz, very important. And yeah, so Teresa, Jay, is there anything else you want me to go over, or did I miss anything?
No, I think you hit all bases. It looks pretty nice.
All right. Awesome. Okay.
Can you go back one slide, though?
I can.
So what does the future look like, and what is coming soon for us? I think number one, the natural progression would be ticket reservation, to be able to get their ticket pulled aside and then ready for them at the convention, which would then probably go right into a payment method so we can buy them on the web platform. Another natural progression would be content, with adding really simple things like conduct and policies, but then more fun stuff like showing what food offerings we have, the map of the exhibits, and then kind of rallying the influencer to get that social media presence and start to get traction. We wanted to do maps integration like Google Maps so that we can make driving instructions really, really simple and they don't have to leave the page for it. And then simple quality of life features like light mode, dark mode, some high contrast accessibility features to make the website more accessible to everybody.
And of course, we want to thank everybody here tonight, but also a lot of our friends and family for the vast and unrelenting technical support from our teacher, of course, Rick Rodriguez, our TA, Michelle, for Laura, and all those who offered assistance to us whenever we ended up stuck, notable mentions being Nelson Chang and Shane Bell. We also want to say thank you for the undying love and support that we received from our teammates, our classmates, our coworkers, friends, and family when we coded first thing in the morning and deep into the night and all the hours in between. And for those of us who continue to be proud of us and celebrate with us and our successes, both at 4Geeks Academy and beyond.
Thanks, everybody.
I just want to add, this was a great opportunity that I'm very thankful for. I had the best teammates, we had the best instructor, and I just this has like enriched my life so much. I can't say enough. Thank you guys, everybody that's here. And we had a lot of fun doing this. You can find all of our links on the screen now. We've got our repository available, our Trello, and our Figma. And our deployed site will be coming soon.
Amazing job, guys. Any questions or comments for this group?
Yes, I have one comment for both groups. I want to say that I have not taught a more studious, a more hardworking, whatever adjective you want to put here, set of students than I have with Cohort 54. I am beaming with pride with the products that have been created, products that can be actually utilized right now in the real world if they choose to do so. There's nothing that makes me happier than to see students present their work and feel the pride and the happiness that they have sharing their products with other people. And as a teacher, that's what I work here for. So for all of my students, I just provided you the tools. I just showed you the way. You had to walk the walk, and all of you did. And I'm proud of you. That's all I can tell you. I'm proud of you, and this is amazing. So congratulations to you all.
I would like to second that. We see cohorts graduating all the time. And of course, we always have stellar projects that stand out over the rest. But both of these were those type of projects that really stood out over the rest. You get out of your project what you put into it. You can put in the bare minimum to pass and grab your certificate and go. But both of these projects were, like Rick said, something that you could really bring to market, and that you could see the tiny details and all the functionalities that you guys put in. For example, in this project that just presented now, two of my favorite parts were those accordion style drop downs with the questions, and how Jay really thought out the responses of what's written there and the cleanliness of how it goes down and goes up, and the Simpsons quote that shows at the bottom. All the work that you put in for those tiny details make such a big difference. And like I said to the last group, your hard work pays off. So you guys are going to have a great project to show on your resumes. And that's just going to take you that much farther in your careers, to both groups. So big congratulations to both of these groups. They were very stellar projects.
Yes, really, congratulations to you too. You did an amazing job with your project. It looks so cool. I loved how it looks, really. And it has a lot of functionalities. Again, you can see the hard work that you have put into this. You have dedicated a lot of time, and you were really committed. And to both groups, you're really prepared to the real world and to get a job in tech as a developer. So I'm really happy for you, and I'm proud to see students graduating like this with this kind of projects. It makes me really happy, really.
Anybody else want to leave any final comments? All right, then with that, we always do our graduations on Friday nights because we want you guys to celebrate and enjoy your weekend with friends and family. If that means go out to dinner, if that means have a drink at home, whatever it may be, you guys have just achieved a really big accomplishment, and you've done so in a way that, is above the rest. You guys really did a really great job. Like I said, you deserve to celebrate this weekend. So I hope that your weekend is stress-free. I hope that you guys celebrate with friends and family your achievements. And then next week on Monday, we'll talk about the graduation process. We'll talk about the next steps with career support. You guys start what we call our second boot camp, which is the job hunt process. but we want you guys to have a break, relax, don't think about that this weekend, and really enjoy your achievements, accomplishments, and celebrate. So I wish you all a great weekend. Once again, one final big congratulations. Thank you to all of our guests for coming, and I hope everybody has a great night.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
you.